Hello everybody and welcome, and today I'm going to take you through our new email received trigger for automations. I'm going to do a quick demo of this. I'm going to cover some other parts of automations as well while we're here. So let's get started. So I'm going to create an email trigger that listens to my inbox and is looking for phishing emails and then will warn us if it thinks it's found a phishing email. So I've created, I've clicked the new automation button. I've typed my name, phishing detection, and I'm going to choose the email received trigger and click save. Okay, so first some of the settings for this. So the email received trigger uses IMAP. So you have to configure your IMAP settings in here. And you can look up your provider for this. I use Gmail, so you'll find that quite easily in your Gmail admin where your IMAP settings are. I'm going to paste mine in here. Okay. And it's worth saying that certainly with Gmail, I had to create an app password. So that password that I use is not the password to my inbox, but I had to create a specific app password. And depending on your provider, the process here might vary. But the last step here is very important, and it is the mailbox. Okay, so the email receive trigger can listen to your entire mailbox if you want. Now, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want all my emails going into this trigger, whether that's just for volume or for security reasons. Instead, I want to listen to a specific mailbox. Now, mailbox is an IMAP term, and what this refers to from a Gmail's perspective is labels. So when you add labels to your Gmail, your emails that go into Gmail, you can set up filters that automatically add emails. So, for example, if I want to set up a label that says for any email that gets sent to support@budibase.com, then I will add the support label. So you can add any number of rules like that into Gmail. The same applies to Outlook and Exchange. So the difference there being that Outlook and Exchange will use folders or directories. Okay, so if you set up a directory and you set up rules within Outlook to automatically send emails into certain folders, then this is what this mailbox refers to. It is folders. Okay, but for now, I have set up a label in Gmail called inquiries. Okay, so that should be that configured. So the next step here is I'm going to set up an AI step. So I'm just going to use the LLM prompt step. And this is what's going to do the classification of the email. So basically listening to or reading the details of the email and determining if it is a phishing email or not. Okay, so I'm going to go into the prompt here, and I've pre-prepared this prompt so we don't have to write it out while I'm talking, but as a broad overview, I have some instructions here for the LLM that tells it how to understand or how to tell whether an email is a phishing email or not. We use the bindings from the trigger outputs, so you'll see here the different fields that the trigger allows you to have. So we have from to, CC, subject, sent at, and body text. Now the body text is always text, so it's not HTML. But I pipe those into the prompt as well. And finally, what I'm doing is telling it that I want you to return your output in this JSON format and giving it a list of fields that I want it to return. Okay, next step I'm going to add is a state step. And what I'm actually trying to do here is just make sure that the response returned by the LLM is parsed into JSON format. So the LLM will return JSON in the format of a string, and I just want to parse that. Okay, so I'm just going to use the state to just give it a name called result. Once again, I have pre-written some JavaScript in here. I am doing the JSON.parse. If the parse is successful, I am setting the success to true. But if there's an exception in parsing, I am going to just return a different result. And that just means if, for whatever reason, the LLM does not return valid JSON, then we can catch that and return it to the user without causing an error in the automation itself. But the main part is just here where I'm doing JSON.parse. So I'm going to save that. I'm just going to run a quick test just to check that my prompt is returning the right result and my state block is parsing it. So I could run this test using the Budibase inbuilt testing for automation. So I can just plug some dummy email values in here if I like. But I do want to test a real email in this stage just to show you it working. But in order to make this automation live, so it's actually listening to the email trigger, I'd have to publish my workspace and automation, and that'll make it live. So I'll just turn it on up at the top here. That will both activate the automation and also publish the workspace. Okay, so that's it published now. So just going to go into my personal email account and send off an email to inquiries@budibase.com. This is just an example email. We don't actually handle attachments and images yet, but I just want to show you how these appear in the email when it comes through. So I'll go ahead and send that. Okay, so the email receive trigger will poll your inbox. That means every 30 seconds or so, it'll check if there have been any more mails received in that mailbox, and it'll then run that automation as necessary. So I've waited about 30 seconds already, and if you just go into logs here at the top, we should see my email, and there it is. And we'll just have a peek at what it has produced. So we can click through these steps to see the output of each step. You can see the details there of the email that came through. So that's what it read from the inbox. And I'll just skip straight to the end there to see the state. That wasn't a phishing email, so it shouldn't have shown any phishing. And indeed, the LLM seems to have detected that properly. So that's good. And I will continue building out my automation further. Okay, so I'll go back to the editor. Okay, so the next step I'm going to add is a condition step. And what I want to do is stop this automation from going any further if this is not a phishing email. Okay, so I will add a condition block. And for the reference value, I'm going to use another bit of JavaScript in here. Once again, I've pre-prepared some JavaScript for you. So I just pasted in a comment below just the format of my state there, just for a bit of reference. But you can see there, I'm saying if the result was not a success or the result is phishing, return true. So not a success, remember, means that there was some failure with the LLM or with the JSON parse on the LLM output. So we're returning false here if it is not a phishing email. So if it was successful, it's a successful parse and not a phishing email. Okay, and the comparison value here is going to be true. I'm going to return true. So this automation will only continue if either the parse was unsuccessful or it was a phishing email. So if everything's good, then the automation stops. So next thing I'm going to do is add a few branches. and I'm going to have two branches in here, one for success and phishing, and the other one will be for a fail. So that is if we fail to parse the email. For the phishing detection part of this, you'll see down here I have state. Okay, and that is the result that was returned by my state block. So I'm going to say if the state result dot success equals true, and then that basically means it is a phishing email. Otherwise, it's a fail, and we probably want to handle that with some kind of other branch there. And all I'm going to do here whenever we've had a phishing detection is I'm just going to send another email. Okay, so filled out a few of the fields here in the email. And finally, again, I've pre-prepared a bit of markdown in here. So I want to just send an email off to it@budibase.com and saying that we would like to report a phishing message and some of the details of the message, and that gets sent off to the IT team. Okay, and that is really it. So this time, what I want to do is test this with a real phishing email. Okay, so once again, I'm going to publish my app. So once again, I'm going to just click publish here so that my automation is live and my changes are out there ready to go. And this time I'm going to use a real phishing email. Now this is one that got sent to us directly, so this is a real email. And as you can see here, it's got a big link in the bottom here that is not from SendGrid, so it's obviously wanting users to click on this link to send them somewhere else. And there's some other interesting things about this email. SendGrid is spelled incorrectly. But I'm going to go ahead and send that and go back to my automation. Okay, so I've given this some time to come through to my email received trigger, and now the email is in my logs. Okay, so if I click on that, once again, it shows me the different steps, and you'll see there that it has gone down the success phishing branch and has sent an email off to warn us of the phishing email. And if we have a quick look at the state that was returned here in the data out tab, you'll see there that it gives you a nice little explanation of why it thinks this is a phishing email. So it purports to be from SendGrid, but originates from a personal Gmail account, uses urgency and account removal threats. Okay, so a non-consistent brand spelling, so it's picked up in the incorrect spelling of SendGrid. So that was quite clever, and gives a list of issues in an array as well. So it's got a high level of confidence that is a phishing email. It is sent off the email to our IT address, and success, phishing detected, disaster averted. So thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, please let me know what you would like to hear. Thank you.